Hi everyone, my name is Bree from 1134 Press, where we share bookmaking, journaling, and papercraft inspiration. So today let's make some Christmas cards. We're not going to be able to see a lot of our friends that we normally do for the holiday. So let's spread some Christmas joy by making some really cool and interesting Christmas cards. So we're going to do three techniques, I guess. We're gonna marble some paper, we're gonna do some collaging, and then we are going to do some really simple pop-up type technique that I found on Pinterest. And you know, I'm really bummed out that I'm not gonna be able to have people over because, as some of you know, I just moved into a new house and it's slowly but surely coming together. So this would have been the perfect year to have a Christmas party. Instead of cramming in all of our friends in our little apartment. So I guess to make up for the fact that, you know, we're all still social distancing and not able to hang out, I want to surprise some of my friends with some cute little cards. So without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. To marble paper, you're going to need basic shaving cream and acrylic paint. I spread out the shaving cream with a butter knife and swirled the acrylic paint with the back of a paintbrush. I added some purple to add a background color for the gold swirls. After a few practice runs with different types of paper, I found that handmade cotton paper soaked in the color best. Before scraping off the shaving cream with a butter knife or a squeegee, if you have one, let the shaving cream sit for about 5 minutes. Depending on the thickness of your acrylic paint, you may have to let it sit longer so it doesn't smudge when you're scraping off the cream. While your paper is drying, you can make your collage that will go on the front cover of your card. Some of you may have seen this massive sticker book before. It's called the Antiquarian and has hundreds of vintage style stickers that I'll be using to make this collage. I'll have a link for this book in the description below if you want to pick one up. So I place the stickers that I want to use on a separate piece of paper and then cut them out. The great thing about these stickers are that there's very little fussy cutting because they're already outlined in an easy to follow shape. I am a very indecisive collager and I like the flexibility to move pieces around to see all the possibilities of their positions on the page. That's why I don't really work too much with paints and woodblock stamps because it's just too final for me. I felt like the heavens answered my prayers when I discovered cling stamps and clear acrylic blocks. I learned this gluing from the top to bottom hack from 49 Dragonflies. It's so simple, but when I started getting into collaging, I would glue from bottom up, and the collage would end up looking so different from what I originally had. So thanks, Barbara, for that tip. Check out her channel if you're not familiar with her work. Since we're going to end up seeing the back of this collage when we flip it open, I am gluing it to a patterned piece of paper from a pad that I picked up from AC Moore some months ago. It's called the Heirloom Stack. To construct the card, you're going to need your collage, a strip of cardstock, a rectangle background, a smaller collage or text that will appear behind the larger collage. We want to cut a thin rectangle in the center of our background rectangle so our strip of cardstock can slide through the hole that we cut. This step would be a lot easier if I had a puncher that was the right size, but a girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do. The next step is to make 2 folds on your strip of paper. The first fold is about 2.5 inches and the second one is about 1/4 of an inch. You all know I hate measuring, but I base my measurements off of the approximate widths of my collage and the small square text. Next, you want to glue your smaller collage or text square onto the first flap. Then you will glue the edge of your bigger collage on the second smaller flap. Okay, so once you have your collages and the small square glued onto the strip of cardstock, you're going to slide the strip through the hole that we made of our background, and we're going to apply a small line of glue onto the small square to attach it to the background. You want to make sure you don't glue anything more than that because you want to be able to comfortably slide the pull tab. And then we are going to add glue onto the background, again avoiding anything that's touching the pull tab, and we're going to just slap that onto the card. To finish off the pull tab, I added an eyelet and rounded the corners with my very cheap and frustrating round corner cutter. I always have to go through with scissors after using that thing, so if you have any recommendations on a corner cutter that you love and use, please share that with me because I'm definitely in the market for one. I didn't record what I did on the inside of the card, but I basically just printed out some text on a piece of transparency paper and layered it on top of watercolor paper. I'll make sure to post some pictures of a completed card on our Instagram, but there you have it. I have so many of these to make in the coming weeks, and I wanted to make sure that I send them off a little early to avoid post office delays. I'm looking for some envelopes that will fit them, but I may have to make some myself. Who knows? Thank you all for crafting along with me. I'm on Instagram at 1134press, 1134press. So if you end up recreating this card, make sure you tag us so we can share. Last week, I posted a junk journal with me video, and you guys seem to like it. So I'm going to try to stick to that schedule where on Sundays I'll do a junk journal with me session, and I guess give you guys a little bit of insight on how I make pages and journal and share some of the materials that I typically use. Yeah, and then Wednesdays will stay as my typical craft days. So if you haven't already, like and subscribe so we can grow this little baby channel. And